Chaos has 702 HP this seed. It's spoiler week. This is game 3 of week 1. We are rocking and rolling, and we surprisingly have 4 different parties being taken into this. Woobear hasn't selected his, but I've got some prior knowledge that it's probably going to be 3 thieves. I'm Scar. I'm joined tonight on comms by Mechlin. We've got Oslato restreaming and Aelan Ikir tracking. How are you doing tonight, Mechlin?
Doing pretty good this evening. About yourself?
I'm excited to see. Thief, thief, none, none. Easy money. I'm excited to see just how quickly this all goes. It's you start with castable nuclear, which really feels like castable fade, and we all know that fade only does 80 damage. So killing bosses 80 HP at the time is how we rock and roll.
Yeah. I feel like flares could be scaled up just a little bit. Every time I rolled one, it was like a 90 or 92 when I was like, this is not the damage I thought it was going to be. But yeah, those consumables are pretty dope.
And so our runners got this seed 2 days ago at 7 p.m. Pacific time on September 25th. So they've had quite a while to figure out what they're actually doing tonight. So these are probably well thought out and speedy routes. They've probably done this, I don't know, 5-10 times, maybe more if they've had a lot more time to practice than they might usually have had, depending on like work schedules and
Work scheduling is definitely a rough thing to go around this, but yeah, it should be a quick match to watch. I mean, what last night was sub 25. I believe both nights the were sub 25, right?
I don't know, but the winning times have definitely been less than 30 minutes every time.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah,
and it's gonna be less than 30 minutes tonight. It's probably be less than 30 minutes tomorrow. Because it's just that, like, on top of this being spoilered, it's just that quick of a flag set. You start with thieves. Like, the thieves have 120 agility, which is nuts. Like, even on flag sets where they have the 80 agility to start, they're nuts.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then I don't recall what the blessing was. Oh, it's 15 agility bonus too, so 135 agility to start. That's insane. Like, not much is gonna hit that.
Yeah, there's going to be katanas collected. I know for sure because, well, one, I helped my friend route the seed, and two, the thief rolled legendary swords.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing the Vorpal this seed, so...
The Vorpal does not exist. It is a myth. And they're off immediately some movement of weapons for Danny. She's probably got... that's probably just how she's killing Garland. We do start with black potions and something to, like, spend the first couple of turns figuring out whether a black potion kills Garland. Turn 1, slot 3.
Yep, turn 1, slot 3 for Softenum.
And because this is set RNG, it's turn 1, slot 3 for everyone, assuming they go for it.
I did like how...
Looks like slot 2 also worked.
Oh, slot 2 worked?
Garland doesn't have a lot of MDef, so the low accuracy of the black potion isn't particularly baneful in this sense.
Yeah, no. But also, with the weak being paper, you can almost breathe on Garland and he'll fall over, so... So it looks like we're heading on down into the Marsh Elfland area on our left side.
Yep, heading to Marsh. Kumo stopping to buy some spells. Lit 1 in this vanilla location. Fire 1. The spells are all in their vanilla locations. Filling out with Lit and Fire. So, obviously, he's going to kill something with that. Fire probably in mind for Lich. Lit in mind for Kraken.
Yeah, and to note too, like, those level 1 spells are buff level 1 spells too, so they're going to do some extra damage than they normally would.
Yeah, about on the pace of their tier 3 counterparts.
Yeah.
so in Marsh, we're probably going to see a little bit of divergence as far as what chests are looted, because tonight there is a bonus objective, which is the Elementalist. Collect and keep all 3 elemental armors: the Opal armor, the Flame armor, the Ice armor. One of them landed in Locked Marsh. They're going to get the key from this incentive chest. Paper Thin Eyeballs dying to single hit from a critical hit with one of the starting weapons equipped. I went, and Woobear went for a black kill.
Yep, and we see Woobear picking up the Ice armor. So it looks like they'll be going for the bonus point as well. Taking eye grind on Danny and Softum.
Yep, probably. They have a specific number of kills in mind, either to get to a specific level break point for attacks later in the seed, or to get a gold break point for purchased flares. They're going to be in at least one shop with these settings.
Yeah, I think we also, if my memory recalls right, we need some money to buy a chime, but that should be within the first 2 or 3 eyes. I think we have the money for that.
You do need the money to buy the chime, but the money can also come from bosses.
Yeah, that's true.
So with the one eyeball with the items you grabbed up to this point gives you about 4,000, and then you get the rest of the money needed for the chime if you went to Earth Cave first and killed Vampire and Lich. There is a level cap on these seeds. It's gonna your experience ceases to give you extra levels once you reach level 16.
Yeah, I believe the idea was that you get 1 charge of level 6 magic, I believe, if you so choose to use it, whatever reason.
If there is an early promotion and a late dip to a sort of a dead end dungeon, a dungeon which doesn't have its own exit at the end, taking a white mage, promoting, and using that 1 level 6 charge to cast exit is a time save. But it's a very specific scenario. I don't think anyone's going to promote in this seed. Woobear has gotten his ship from Locked Marsh, or not from Locked Marsh, Locked Caneria. Key was in Marsh. And looks like both Danny and Softum have finished eye grinding. Kumo is traversing to grab his ice armor. Hopefully also get that bonus point. I don't think... Did Danny or Softum grab the ice armor?
I know Softum did. I believe Danny did, but I'm not 100% sure. Iker is saying yes, they both did. Okay.
Yeah, so everybody's gunning for the bonus point on Restream tonight.
Yeah, let's just hope everybody's notes have nice bold points. It says, please don't forget this chest. That would be very sad to realize later on. Danny grabbing the ship as well.
Which puts her right on the heels of Sofnum grabbing the canal from Matoya. Woobear has already done that and is now entering the Girth Cave to go kill Vampire and Lich, as is required. This is a 4 orbs flag set.
I'm really enjoying Softum sprites. I've never seen these before.
I can't say I've had it either.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask about that later.
And there's the first katana spotted in what a lot of folks call Earth TFC. It's the worst chest to grab on the Lich floor. Sofnum taking the extra step to grab the Pro Cape +3 in Canarian Treasury. I know this can make a difference at a specific point later, and I'm hoping he equips it where I think it's gonna go.
Yeah, no spoilers in Spoiler Week, but I believe there was a reason for that, yeah. It's like Kumo grabbed it as well. When they were grabbing it,
Danny is not going to Girth Cave yet. She's taking a stop at Crescent Lake to buy that necessary chime.
Danny's also going south.
Yeah, the next step will probably be the waterfall and then on rack.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting how different teams routed these different ways. So.
Yeah, I believe our other katana is in this treasury. So having both katanas for 2 thieves. Though it'll be the first katana for our esteemed black mage enthusiast. The piano, which is equivalent to a lute. And Lich is dead for Woobear. First person to get an orb on the board.
Those bats are giving Softening the business right now.
Yeah, set RNG only affects the battle RNG we've found. It does not affect the placement of the bats. So
yeah.
So they will move well with a mind of their own. Well, a mind of the NES, but that is a mind of its own.
Yeah, that was something that got me in my race on Tuesday night. Was I think I encountered every bat in Earth Cave.
Yeah, the best time is when you talk to a bat. It moves as it moves 1 step to the left, and you get nothing here. When clearly there was a bat there when you pressed A.
Lately, I've been able to time it so that I move through the bat and still cause it to disappear, which is very interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. Essentially talking on top of the bat.
And there's the cube from the waterfall. There's a pack of flares right next to it, and the rather cooperative robot walking right up to give the Oxy. He doesn't want it anymore. He should give it to us, right?
That was very polite of that robot to just hand it off to Danny like that. So we got Dueling Liches on Softnum and Kumo's side. And
that is probably that's close to triple the HP Lich had from that Firecast. There is no kill like overkill.
Oh yeah. Robot not being so kind to Woobeer, forcing him to run across the room.
Yeah, but you know he's walking across the bottom, so he only advanced his encounter table by 1 step there.
Yeah,
no big deal. It's not a lot of time loss. If I don't think anybody was intense enough to put their route down to the step, maybe within a few steps, but you gotta account for a little bit of variance.
Oh yeah, there's definitely some variance for sure. I know there was like a step in Marsh, I believe, on Tuesday, where if you took two extra steps on the bottom floor, you hit a nasty pack of wolves on the way out. So yeah, that step count can matter, but for the most part, it's I think at least for this one, I remember it not being too much of a nuisance.
Yeah, and it would appear the next step for Soft Numb is the volcano. There's a bunch of flares here, I'm betting, and should provide significant damage for the rest of the run. Oh, but he's electing not to grab them.
I can't even recall where those flares were now. It's been such a long
Oh, they're in the treasury.
Yeah, I feel like that's a little far out of the way. But
it's a matter of remembering. Are you buying your flares or looting your flares?
Yeah, that's true.
Looks like Kumo also grabbed the Pro Cape and is spending some time now to equip it.
Yeah, I believe they only had the one thief in their party, so...
And Lit was used to kill Kraken, as predicted. Who would have thunk that dealing Lit 3 damage with the level 1 spell would be useful?
Set RNG means you can get a pretty decent high roll and you know when it's going to land, so... I wasn't around for a previous spoiler event, so I don't know what it was like without set RNG, but I can say that having set RNG for this has made it very easy to route everything.
Kelly proving a bit of a nuisance for Soft Numb. But he's out, he's through. He's got 2 orbs on the board. The first person to get their second orb in this race. Followed shortly by Woobear, cleaning up the Kraken. Flame armor for Danny. I think that's her 3rd armor, where she's got it all. If she remembers to collect the point at the end of the seed, or and doesn't for some reason throw them away, it'll be easy money. It seems that now Uber is heading to Crescent to buy his chime, just as Soft Numb leaves.
Yeah, I believe Soft Numb will be picking up some armor, a weapon in here.
Yep, this is where the opal armor and the katana are, as well as your required loot.
Danny picking up the floater.
Yeah, having not killed Carrie yet, boating around to launch the floater is quicker than canoeing up to Volcano.
Interesting.
At least that's the theory.
Yeah, that's interesting. I want to say we all looked at that and was like, yeah, that floater's not going to do us any good this seed.
As long as it's... I mean, when I was looking at this seed, I thought, that'll save time for Carrie. Oh, a huge swing from Danny's fighter there. The fighter was hurt dragon this seed, so it is little to no... Well, I shouldn't be surprised that there was a turn 1 kill with looked like a silver sword.
Max roll crit zone.
Oh, it was a 2-turn kill, but only fighter damage. That makes sense. May have been 2 turns, but it was one. It was 2 turns, 2 shots, easy money every time.
Well, the robot is being kind to soften him as well. Looks like Kumo is about ready to take on their Kraken fight.
Danny's at the air at the blistering 17-minute mark. Turns out when you're guaranteed to run from most fights, and most fights have almost 0 chance to surprise attack you, it's pretty quick to go places. And Woobear's step route through Sky nets him a couple of eyeball kills. He gets a surprise attack and the one shot on them.
It looks like Kumo's going with the lit strats on Kraken as well.
Yeah, a 1-round kill. A lot of animations, but better. It's the best thing he found, and it's not a bad idea.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, trying to gauge whether spell animation is faster than a round of waiting. It's kind of hard to determine what feels the fastest.
Well, that's what a stopwatch is for, right? You can figure out a few kills and just time each of them, and if that's the fastest one he found, it's the fastest one he's going with. Here, Woobear is using the flares and one of his katanas to deal damage to Tiamat, getting his 3rd orb.
Yeah, Danny beating Woobear to the 3rd orb, having just taken Carrie down prior to that, on their way to say hi to Lich. It's like Kumo went and remembered to grab their armor out of Mirage.
Yep, I believe at this point, the only person not to collect the 3rd armor piece is Sofnum. Ooh, a light axe being picked up for Sofnum. That is probably going to be... That hurts undead. That's probably a good idea for Lich, since there's a fighter in the party.
Oh, yeah.
And the very quick, short flight over to Volcano for Woobear, just as it was for Danny. This is going to be really close between Danny and Woobear, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure because Volcano was rather quick, having taken hardly any encounters the whole way. But Earth being just slightly closer to Topher than Volcano is. It's definitely going to come down to battles in Topher, I think. Sofnum pulling up to Lich, or sorry, Kraken. I was looking at Danny's screen while I said that.
Thinking about Lich.
Danny heading to Lich. And 3rd orb lit on Sofnum's side, as Kumo was pulling up to Tiamat right now.
Yeah, it looks like Woobear's a few seconds ahead, lighting the last orb. And now only has to deal with the Fiend refights and Chaos himself in the Temple of Fiends.
Yep. Danny only a couple seconds behind, going into Topher.
Looks like a round of flares takes down Tiamat for Kumo. Looks like Danny's only a floor behind Woobear, hot on his heels going into Toph. Though it looks like they both might have gone off the hard reset. Given where these Medusa encounters are for Danny after where they were for Woobear.
Yeah, I believe.
Lich 2, just like Lich 1, was incredibly paper thin. Went down very quickly for Woobear, just holding A with his katana-equipped thieves. And here, oh, there was a Nagama tile there.
Kumo grabbing all those flares aforementioned, being in the
volcano armor. 4 packs of flares.
Yeah, that's what, 12 flares there.
That's 12 flares. That is damage enough probably for the rest of the seed for Kumo.
Yeah, but that's carry 2 down on Woobear's side. Danny almost pulling up. Woobear's thief going down to 4 HP.
4 HP, but he knows exactly what's going to happen. So he doesn't need to heal. He doesn't need to worry.
Yep.
He might be a little nervous about finish time, but until then, he's just got to execute, right? And that's the whole thing about this. It's all about the execution once game day came.
Yeah.
Danny's lit coming back into the fray for Kraken once again. 1 round kill on Kraken for Danny. As Woobear is heading to the big man himself. Chaos. He's got 700 hit points this seed and 2.
Kumo having lit their final orb. Flying up, Softun pulling into Topher in just a few seconds as well. Oh, Kumo making a stop in Provoka.
And notably, Woobear just held A for, it looks like, all of Topher. There's him coming in with a finish time of 24:42. See if we don't get him in for an interview.
Yeah, Woobear finishing second behind Budgemano at a finish time of 23:54.
Yeah, so Budgemano and Woobear will be receiving points for this race as if they both finished first because of the bucket system, and we are joined by Woobear. GG's.
GG's. I forgot I can just choose things now. That's cool. I don't have to get pulled in.
How'd you feel about that one, Woo?
I felt okay. I didn't get as much like step route and stuff written down as I would have liked, so I kind of got banged up by some scorpions outside of Crescent. So I started. Well, I didn't start. I was oversaving most of the seed. Didn't have a lot of time to get this one locked in, but I mean, it was still bucket 1, so whatever, barely. But I'm happy.
And in the moment, Danny's also joined us. GG, Danny.
GG's.
Yo. I feel like now I can breathe. I can't say for certainty that for 25 minutes there, I did not.
Yeah, it's weird that these, like, I don't usually get stressed during these races, but this one, like, a little bit, which is odd because it's all scripted, so you just gotta, do the thing. But I guess that leads to its own set of anxiety.
It's like I have horrible race anxiety anyway. I think knowing what I need to do, but knowing I need to execute it well, I think it was worse.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Because you know what's possible and you know what to do, but there's just so many things that you can mess up along the way that just throws you off just the tiniest bit, and then your whole plan goes to crap.
Yeah, RNG is done. It's just up to you, and that's scary.
So, on the topic of the blessings, you both took different parties, and I want to rack your minds a bit. What were your initial thoughts on the plan? How did the blessings on the characters inform your plan?
No, I see legendary weapons. I mean, I gotta play around with it, right? On the thief.
That was one of the reasons why I took the thief. The reason why I took the fighter, other than because I really like my sprite. No, just
The white
I
Power
want
Ranger is awesome.
dragon. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
The white Power Ranger is
Power
awesome.
Ranger.
Oh, it's a Gundam.
Oh, it's a Gundam.
It looks like a
Oh,
Power
I'm sorry.
Ranger.
It does look like
Yeah.
a Power Ranger. My bad.
Yeah.
What are Power Rangers but tiny Gundams?
Exactly.
That's why I named it after Fizzle. Well, that's why it's a Gundam, because my fighter is always Fizzle.
That makes sense. My bad.
But oh no, you're fine. But the reason why I took it is because it started with the silver sword, which did a lot of work. It had hurt dragon, which helped. Didn't have to fish out the second katana, and I was like, all right, I'm good with this. And then once we started kind of tinkering with things, I realized that with the black mage having health, initially life, but we realized we weren't going to need it. But it has the heal 3s. If I just put lit on it, between the heal 3s and the refreshes, I don't have to buy heals. I don't have to buy any, I didn't buy a single thing other than lit. I didn't need heals. I didn't need nothing this entire seed. So that's why I went with the party I had, because it was basically just self-efficient. It needed almost nothing.
Yeah, it was the same here. I stepped into one town, I think, and that was Crescent because you need to buy chime. So it feels good to do as little as possible. That's kind of my philosophy. Less is more kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like while we were talking, Sofnum beat the daylights out of chaos. GG Sofnum.
GG.
GG's, everybody.
GG's.
Since it's the current topic, what did you think of the blursings this seed, Sofnum?
So we pretty much just used equip legendary.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty much it. The fighter was just there because somebody needed to die. I mean, basically that was the routing.
I just love the wording there. Somebody
the
had
beach yield, the human blink cast, if you know that one.
It's usually not the fighter's role, so it's kind of fun. Usually it's the opposite. But
right, exactly.
And Kumo, hot on everyone's heels, has also beat the daylights out of chaos. GG's Kumo.
GG's.
GG.
Jesus. So, are we the only ones who went floaterless?
I think we might have been. I'm not gonna lie, Softnum. When I seen that floater being pulled out on Danny's side, I was like, what's happening?
I was close to floaterless, but I popped it at the end to go to Volcano and to go to thingy.
Yeah, I think that was the big question of the route this seed, to float or not to float. And on stream, 3 of y'all floated and 1 of y'all didn't. And it may have made a difference, it may not have.
If I'm correct in what I was looking at when I pulled up the stream, it looked like everyone went Earth first.
Yep.
But me? Okay.
Yeah, that was great.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're right
Makes sense,
there,
like,
you know? It's just right
got your-
there.
Yeah, but you get the money from the eyeballs, right? And so you don't need the money
Mhm.
from Earth Cave.
I'm
Well,
not doing it for the
yeah,
money.
yeah,
I'm
you
doing
don't
it for
need
the
Yeah.
orb.
katana.
I mean, Matoya, the
And the
crystal,
katana.
you had the crystal and you turned it in, there was also that money there. But when we were routing it out after I left, whatever, we realized, I've got money per chime, I can get chime. And if I go straight to if I go straight to Bahamut, I get what I need out of there. And then I do waterfall and I do sea and the day sky, I get in the air sooner, so I'm doing less boating around. And having those bit of levels, I didn't even grind all the way. I knew I needed exactly 7 eye fights to get me to 13. And between the one box that was quicker to open right beside the katana in Bahamut, and then just the rest of the fights, I was going to hit 16 before I hit Topher. I think I did more math figuring the seed out than I've done since I graduated.
It was fun to see the complete. You did basically the opposite routing as me, and do it within 40 seconds or whatever, 30 seconds almost. It's fun to watch these.
definitely been an interesting week. I will say that for sure.
Yes, it has been an interesting week, and tomorrow's going to be interesting too. Spoilers.
I kind of feel like I know everyone's
Spoilers in the
teams have been
spoiler
helping
libraries?
them
Oh, no.
like plan out all their runs. I kind of feel like Sunday just needs to be like an agreed upon, like all teams take a mental health day just to decompress because we're just going nonstop, all just working
like-
on
No.
speed.
Danny, have you seen Week 2 flags?
Yeah,
I feel like we need a whole week.
next week's kind of. I think next week's going to require more of a mental health break than this week.
yeah.
At least with next week, you can blame the seed.
Yeah, you can blame the flags.
Something bad will come up Tri-State, and you can blame that.
I don't
Exactly.
mind them too much. I'm gonna mess them up when I get them confused with week 3, which I'll also be racing next week because they're what the SGL flags are, and I'm going to the in-person. So it's fine. Probably, maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
Just race Tuesday, and then it's not a problem, right?
I can't race Tuesday. Otherwise, I might have switched it. The only way that it worked was if throughout the weeks is Fizzle and I took Fridays and Saturdays, so we're both still racing Fridays and Saturdays next week while doing SGL. It's fine.
It's fine.
It'll be fine. It'll be
got-
alright.
We've got a few extra brain cells we can spare next week.
Well, I think I've managed to rack everyone's brains. Mecklin, do you have anything for our esteemed runners?
I did want to ask Kumo about the party comp. It was a lot different than the other ones. Everybody else took tier 3. From what I've seen, you took 4 people.
I'm used to 4 people.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Taking
I think-
a party that's not for me is incredibly strange, and even more so today. I'm so used to how I even make my party that even if it's not 4-man, it's like I like it the way it is. But I knew to cut out on some of the menuing, I needed to have people in the wrong places. It
Yeah,
hurt my soul just a little bit.
I took 2, so that was super double weird. Not used to taking 2-man parties.
It's
it was
often
fun.
the blow by poking Ken, who did my sprites originally. Like, hey, any chance real quick we can turn my Gundam into a map man? So the 5 minutes I have to look at him instead of wheels is better than a normal map man, and it worked, and it was real good. Had my little Gundam walking around on the overworld.
Nice.
Made me less sad.
Yeah, I think we've pretty much racked everyone's brains that we can.
Yeah. Perhaps some final thoughts are in order. Kumo, any final thoughts on the seed?
Well, I thought I had a good time until Budge Mono blew that out of the water. So, GG to Budge Mono. Thank you all for taking time out of your day to come watch and support. And you guys have been awesome.
Sofnum, anything to add to the end of the broadcast?
Just thank you to you two for doing comms and the trackers and restream and everything. For putting this on.
Anything on your mind, Danny?
Yeah, just what everyone else said. Thank you to everyone who volunteered tonight. Much appreciated. I've said it once and I'll always say it. The FFR race crew folks are the best race crew in any community. Fight me if you disagree, because I'm white. And GG to everyone. This week is such a toss-up because you never know what anyone else is going to do, and everyone did amazing what I've seen from the times tonight. So I'm not gonna lie, I saw everyone who joined the race room tonight and I panicked real big. So GG to everyone, and yeah, I'm gonna go get a snack because I was too anxious to eat before this. So I'm going to raid the kitchen. Thanks everybody.
Woo Bear,
Dread food?
you got anything to add?
No, pretty much the same thing. Sounds kind of lame the 4th time, but thank you to everyone doing the restream, putting on all the show. It was fun. I'm glad this one is over. And I didn't mess up too horribly. So I'm happy. It was fun. Thank you.
Mecklin, any last words?
No, just thanks everybody coming out, putting on a good show. And then I guess our last spoiler race tomorrow is going to be at 6:30 Eastern on RPG Limit Break. So it should be fun to watch.
All right. I was Scar. He was Mecklin. We had Osloto putting on the show. Ale and Ike here pressing buttons. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.